Hello, how are you? My name is Anne-Marie Graham-Hudak, your Canton Township Supervisor, and welcome to Good Day Canton. Today, with Good Day Canton, we have State Senator Dayna Polehanki as our guest. So let's welcome Dayna and ask her a little bit about how some of the districts are changing. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So you are in a current district right now, and we know with redistricting things have changed. So what is changing about the district? How has it morphed for you?
Well, the most important thing is I'm retaining Canton. So my current district is Livonia, Plymouth, Canton, Northville, and Wayne.
Okay.
So in the new district, I'm going to lose Plymouth, Northville, and Wayne. I'm going to retain all of Canton, and I am going to pick up Garden City, Westland, and Inkster. So although I'm an incumbent and running for re-election, it's in a different district where just about half, the people have never heard my name. So, you have that incumbency, but you also have this redistricting that made me a stranger to half my new district.
Do you think that any of the things that you've been working on will be different in the new district, or do you think you'd still be working on the same things?
Each community has its needs and challenges and strengths. So I've been talking to mayors and supervisors of the new parts of my district and looking at what their priorities are. I know the mayor of Inkster, for example, would love to get that Michigan Avenue corridor, built up, and Garden City has some things they want, and Westland too. So I'm just listening to the mayors, listening to the city officials, and that's the phase I'm in right now. But no, I like to help my districts as much as I can in terms of getting them funding for your Canton Road project. I'm really hoping to do that. And I know you guys would like another fire station. So we do as much as we can. You have to remember that every senator and every representative is just vying for this pot of money. We're kind of just like clawing at it, trying to get it for our districts. And, when you're in the minority party, it's not quite as easy as being in the majority party to get that done. It's not impossible. So you just use your relationships and that you've built and keep fighting, and hopefully we'll see some big time money coming to Canton.
Great. Now, what are some of the things that you're really passionate about right now that you've been working on for a while?
I was a teacher, a high school English teacher, for about 20 years before I became a senator, and never really envisioned myself becoming a senator, actually. It just kind of happened after the 2016 election. So education's my thing, and I am the Democratic Vice Chair of the Education and Career Readiness Committee in the Michigan Senate. So although I don't get to decide which bills come through the committee, I do get to have a very distinct voice in terms of what I think about the bills that are coming through. A lot of them I support. Some I absolutely do not. I also sit on the K-12 Appropriations Subcommittee for funding. So we talk about funding Michigan schools. That's a huge part of, it's a determining factor for everything, class sizes, teacher pay, which leads to teacher recruitment and retention, resources. It really has an impact on everything, this school funding. So I'm happy that Governor Whitmer has, closed the gap between the highest funded and lowest funded schools. And she's also suggesting a weighted funding formula. So that just means not everyone gets equal, but they get equity. They get more money in terms of the need. So for example, a district with a greater number of special ed students would get more money than the neighboring district with not as many, because special ed students cost significantly more to educate. And so that's called the weighted funding formula. It's something that's been talked about for years. Governor Whitmer's taken it very seriously. I take it very seriously, and I hope to move closer to that as the years progress.
Okay, great. Thank you. What are some of the bills that are you working on other than weighted funding that are in the committee right now?
Well, I have a bill package that I'm spearheading, and it's all about teacher recruitment and retention. So it's going to be maybe 14 to 16 bills. There are things like, I believe that if you're going to be a teacher and you have to try out as a student teacher for a semester to a year and you're not allowed to work, that you should probably be paid $15 an hour for that time. Mm-hmm. That will help, young people and maybe paraprofessionals wanting to make a change and become a teacher. That can help make the decision like, okay, I'm not going to be left high and dry when I'm student teaching. For me personally, mm-hmm. I went into teaching at around the age of 30, and I had to move back into my dad's basement because I was not allowed to work. And thank gosh I had my dad's basement. So mm-hmm. we want to do that. We want, we have things like childcare subsidies for people who commit to teaching as a career. We have grow your own programs starting from middle school, kind of like teaching these kids like, you could be a teacher at this school district and here's how. So there's all different kinds of ideas we took from Governor Whitmer, we took from the Michigan Department of Education, Dr. Rice, our ideas, and we put them in this bill package. Mm-hmm. And then that's gonna be introduced probably next week. Does it mean it gets any action in the Education Committee? Mm-hmm. That's up to the majority chairwoman, not me, unfortunately. But you do all this work knowing that none of this might see the light of day.
Right.
But that's the nature of government in any state.
Okay. Now in Canton, as you know, we have a roads millage, mm-hmm. and since 2018, we've done approximately 12.1 miles of roads mm-hmm. with that project. One of them right now we're working on is Canton Center Road.
Okay.
So we know that one of the governor's promises was fixing the darn roads.
Yeah.
So what do you see? Do you see any action there coming with more funding towards mm-hmm. communities, or do you see it's mostly, because we know 275 is under construction, 75, right. 94.
Oh boy, is it under mm-hmm. construction. Yeah. The good thing about 275 is they're doing not just a patch and fix. Mm-hmm. I was actually at the site with Governor Whitmer 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They're doing a complete tear down and rehaul. Mm-hmm. So what might have lasted 10 to 15 years is now estimated to last about 40 years. 40. Mm-hmm. So that's the gold standard in how you want to do your road repairs. But the road repairs you're seeing on our freeways mm-hmm. is because Governor Whitmer bonded for the $3.5 billion of a bond. Now, when she ran for office, mm-hmm. In 2018, she floated a gas tax, which was not popular. And I can imagine it wouldn't be very popular now either. That would have paid for a great number of our roads to be fixed. Mm-hmm. So, you want your roads to be fixed, mm-hmm. but that means that the money's got to come from somewhere. Mm-hmm. I don't see a plan forward right now from either party, frankly, in terms of extending any road repairs beyond the bonding the governor did. It'll be interesting to see, next year in 2023, when there's a new legislature, with a new legislature comes new funding priorities. Mm-hmm. So we could see a change happening there as well.
Okay. And then you talk about doing the road over. We're doing the same on Canton Center Road. It is a complete tear down.
Yeah, yes, that's important.
It was basically repaved probably about 5-6 years ago mm-hmm. when that didn't last. So mm-hmm. we are tearing it down. Yeah. Now, we also know parks are important too mm-hmm. for residents of Canton. Mm-hmm. So we've asked for funding for some of our parks mm-hmm. and our sidewalk apps. We're trying to do more connectivity so
right.
our residents can get around.
Mm-hmm. I know that the sidewalk gap reduction. Is that what you call it?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, that's on my list of priorities for Canton. So like I said, it's coming around the bend. You know, I do get a list that I get to forward to the big money people, the appropriations chairs, and I've made the Canton Road project, you know, number one. I believe it's my number 1 or 2. And I do represent other communities as well who have their ass. But between myself, Representative Ranjiv Puri, Representative Matt Kolazar, they get their ass too. So hopefully between the 3 of us, you know, one of us can make that happen.
Okay, that'd be great. Are there other committees you would like to be on? I know you've really concentrated on education, but
you know, it's so odd. I'm on a committee called Reg Reform, and I didn't know what that was about. It's all the things I don't do. I don't. It's about alcohol. I don't drink. It's about cigarettes. I don't smoke. It's about marijuana. That's not my thing. And it's about gambling. And I never gambled more than $20. So I guess I'm very dispassionate about things in that committee, which can be good because there is a lot of passion about those things from different sides. It's called the Sin Committee.
Oh, the Sin Committee.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a busy committee. I'm also the Democratic Vice Chair of Agriculture. Nobody knows how that happened. I'm sort of a city girl, though I've grown up on horse farms, but it's all about farming and all kinds of farming, not just cattle farming and dairy farming. Michigan has a robust export of anything from apples in this area to soybean, corn. Those are the big products. But we're definitely in the game nationally in terms of farming and our produce and what we export out to and sell to other states.
Wow, that's great. So how is farming doing right now in terms
farming's suffering? You know, the fertilizer prices, like everything, is through the roof. The farmers are generational farmers, and they are finding that the young people aren't really wanting to take over. It's kind of a lot of a passion project thing. So you're a victim of the weather. We had that flooding a couple years ago. You know, you're kind of at the mercy of prices. You know, there's something called potash, and there's a shortage of that right now, and fertilizer shortage, and so this all ends up affecting our prices at the grocery store.
Wow,
So
okay, that makes sense.
So farming's not doing that well right now either.
Well, is there anything, you know, we thank you for being here. Is there anything you'd like to close with or say to anybody? Or to the
Just,
residents?
you know, I've really enjoyed representing Canton over the past 3.5 years. If I'm lucky enough, I'll get to represent Canton for another 4 years in the Michigan Senate. And I have lots of friends here, and I just really love the township.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you,
we know we'll
Supervisor.
be seeing you soon. We have a lot of great events happening this week.
Good.
And into June.
Okay, wonderful.
Well, thank you for joining us, and have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
This program was produced by Canton Community Production.